Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump, and today I'll be doing my top 5 favourite armour sets from Tears of the Kingdom. Now, like with Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom has shown that it has various armours, all having their own designs, their own abilities, that kind of thing, and how useful they can be when it comes to certain aspects, whether that's in its stats, when it comes to defense, or you're trying to sneak around enemies and maybe take some of their equipment or stuff that can help you in battle, that kind of thing. And this video, I'll just be talking about some of my favorites that that Tears of the Kingdom brought into the game. I won't talk about any of the old ones, because it's either I've made a video audio about that or I haven't. But in case I haven't, I will probably make one in the future on the armors from Breath of the Wild. So yeah, and I'll just be talking about some of my favorite armor sets from Tears of the Kingdom. So for number 5 is the Jigger armor. Now with this particular armor, I think it's quite cool to have this armor, because this armor can basically help you get into some of the Jigger hideout areas. For instance, their main hideout, you could get into there. And what I like about that is that, what I like about this armor is that it can fool a lot of the Jigger members, but not the main honcho of the Jigger clan, Master Koga. Because if you have the Jigger armor, Master Koga will still recognize you as Link, and so I think it's cool that it can fool a lot of the members, but not the main head of the clan. And another thing that I do like is that, as I mentioned before, this armor can let you into the main Jigger hideout, in which you can do some of the quests, which is quite cool. Some of them being like, you can do a particular shrine quest, or you can get a new ability or a new armor, that being the Thunder Helm. And yeah, it's a weird armor to have, but weird in a I don't know, because like, I think it's just a nice way to get into various Jigger hideout areas. For number 4 is the Froggy armor. Now this particular armor can be found in the stable near Rito Village, and the way to collect it is by doing various side adventures, by going around Hyrule, and by basically doing this sort of newspaper side quest adventure thing, which is quite cool, because this makes you go around the world of Hyrule and just doing various missions for people, and you are updating the sort of the news of what's happening around Hyrule. And your main, I would say, reporter friend, who's a Rito, he will say that the main reporters will have heard about your helpings out and will give you that armor. And the armor I think it's a nice design. Like when you compare it to all of the other armors, it's more amphibian, it's more frog-like, obviously by its name and its design. And I do like how, with its abilities, it can help you resist the rain whenever you're climbing, which is, I think, a huge improvement, because I think if you've played Breath of the Wild, the main criticism I think a lot of people had was the rain, and how it came at not the best times whenever you're climbing a specific area. And I think the Froggy armor is probably the best way of helping you achieve climbing walls whenever it's raining. And yeah, I think it's just one of those armors that is pretty much helpful if you needed to climb it, if you want to get to a particular area and you can't climb because of the rain. So I think the Froggy armor is pretty much useful in a lot of situations. For number 3 is the Armour of the Depths. Now the Armour of the Depths can be collected in the depths, and you can find them. Well, you can find a piece of them if you speak to I think either a specific amount of those depth statue things, or if you talk to a specific one at different locations. I don't 100% remember. But with the Armour of the Depths, it's useful, I would say, in combat against specific enemies. I would say, like, enemy in the depths, as well as some of the Malice Phantom Ganon enemies, because the Armour of the Depths basically gives you extra hearts, but not the sense that, it fills up your life bar. It's more the sense that they're kind of temporary, because as soon as you walk across the gloom, those hearts will start to be disabled, and they won't be able to work unless you, I think, have a Sunderline meal or a warp. And the design-wise, it's kind of creepy, I would say. It kind of reminds me of the Aghanim enemy in A Link to the Past. It kind of reminds me of that in terms of design. And yeah, I think this is again, like with the Froggy armor, it's very useful in certain situations, in the sense that you can you can fight enemies with gloom, and you can just go right past, and you can. I think it's, if you have the armor, but I highly suggest you give this armor if you want to venture into the depths or just fighting any gloom related monsters. For number 2 is the Miner's Armour. Now, this armour is, I would say, very, very much useful in the depths, because it's an armour that's completely glowing. It's kind of got these lights things, and it's one of the more weirder armours, because it kind of looks like an animal thing. It kind of looks like a goat, kind of. I don't know, but it's one of those armors that's really, really helpful, especially if you upgrade it to level 2, if you upgrade every single piece to level 2, because it will make your footsteps glow. So if you're in the depths, it will, every few steps, your footsteps will leave a print, and you can see for a while, for like a few meters behind you, which is quite useful. And yeah, I think it's just an armor that's really useful, mainly in the depths. It's not really used, or it's not really helpful anywhere else in the game. It's an interesting design. I think it's quite cool. It's just that it's only used in one specific area, and once you've completely covered the depths in light, it's not really useful anywhere else. I still enjoy it, and it has some nice moments. I think it just has. It's kind of hard to explain, so yeah. And for number 1 is the Glider Armour. Now, this armour, I would say, is pretty much useful. It's very, very useful, especially if you upgrade every single piece to level 2, because I would say, because a lot of the armours in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have an ability, if you upgrade all 3 pieces to level 2. So, for instance, with the previous armor that I talked about, that will have your footsteps glow up, and you can see from some further meters behind you. With the glider armor, it will help you not take full damage if you wear the entire set, and that's, I think, the most useful ability in the game. And I do like the design of it. It's basically sort of like, it's kind of like if you had the paraglider, but as a suit, as a sort of like armor set. And this is probably the armor that I've used in terms of the new armors in the game. The armor that I've used the most, because it has helped me get to various places in the game, and I do like how it kind of like, because like with the mask, it kind of makes Link look like an owl, kind of. It's kind of like owl shaped, and yeah, it looks kind of like a nature type of thing, where like the glide armor is like, it looks like it's part of nature in sort of sense. And I do like how it helps, because if you don't have the glide armor, you kind of just have to use the power glider, and that does use up stamina. Whereas with the glide armor, you don't have to worry about stamina at all, and it's just the most useful one in the game, and I think it's really useful, especially when you're in the air. If you're like in a sky island, or you've gone to one of the sky view lookout towers, so that's really helpful. And overall, it's just, as I said before, it has the most useful ability, I would say, in terms of armor sets abilities in the game, because you don't take full damage, and it's just probably, and it is one of my favourites. So that's been my top 5 favourite armor sets from Tears of the Kingdom. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.